All right. Excuse me. Pardon. Edit this just a little bit. Welcome to the JD Oliva Project. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. Um, as you probably might have known by following me on certain social media platforms, even here on the Mike and JD Show Patreon, I've been going through a week. Uh, Last Saturday, I found out my dad was in hospice, and it was going pretty quick. So Sunday, my son and I visited him, and he was able to talk. He whisper, couldn't talk much, but he was still he knew kind of what was going on. He could see. He held my son's hand, held my hand, and we kind of shared some stuff and cleared the deck a little bit. And then on Monday, I got the call that he was slipping, and it was probably coming soon. So I left work and went to my sister's house where this was happening, and spent all day there Monday, waiting for my brother to get there from Albuquerque. And he got there, and then he just kept going. Like I just was he. It took a long time for my dad to finally go, and it was like a long. When I say a long time, I mean it didn't happen until Tuesday nights, and I thought Monday at like 9 o'clock. We were like 9 o'clock a.m. They were like, oh, it's the time's coming. When I was in high school, I took Latin, which should not surprise a lot of you, knowing the kind of guy I am. I was a 4-year honors Latin student. Please don't ask me to speak it. Helped on the ACT. Say that helped on the ACT. So yeah, took Latin for 4 years in high school, and my favorite is my favorite teacher. And I remember Mr. Demuth said something that always stuck with me. It's very hard to die, and he goes, people don't realize how hard it is for the human body to go, because the body is designed to keep going and to persevere. And watching my dad go through this, um, I saw that. I saw how hard it was for his body to let go. On Tuesday, he was completely out of it. Like it was like he was going, his body was going, but I mean, like there was nothing there. Like he was no, he wasn't functioning. As when I say function, I mean like mentally, like he wasn't recognizing people. He wasn't doing much of anything, moving just a little bit. Like it was a long drawn out process. And my brother had to go pick up his wife from the airport on Tuesday afternoon, and I decided to. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave too. I just thought that maybe my dad was kind of waiting for people to go, like he didn't want a bunch of people around him when he passed, and I thought that I should honor that. So I left, and I got stuck in traffic, and I wound up going to Panera because I got tired of being in traffic. And then on the way back home, I got caught in this glorious end of winter thunderstorm. It was 70 degrees that day. 70 degrees in Chicago. Like that's nuts for late February. So, the storm system rolled through, and the sky was just electric. Like these bolts of lightning were painting the sky in these amazing colors of purple and orange. And it would have been beautiful if it wasn't so damn terrifying driving through it. Because then the hail started pelting us, and I called my buddy, and I'm like, 'cause I was about hitting DeKalb. DeKalb's about halfway, and I'm like, hey, can I come hang out at your house and wait this thing out? He's like, yeah, sure, absolutely. So I get to my buddy's house, my buddy Sam, who I coach with, and his family offered dinner, and I'm like, I can't, I just ate. If I'd known, I wouldn't eat nothing. And then the tornado sirens went off. Illinois, we all know the tornado sirens. So I went to the basement, and we all hung out together and just kind of waited it out. And I hate inclement weather. Growing up, I hated tornadoes specifically. We almost had one in our neighborhood, and I was about 12, and it impacted me big time. And I had no fear in this tornado. I don't know if I just trusted the construction of my friend's house, or if I just felt good where I was at, but I had no fear. I was like with people I loved, and I felt fine. And then about 7:05, I get a call from my aunt that my dad had passed. And in the moment, I felt relieved. Like my dad, and I kind of wrote about this on the website though. So if you've read The Rope, I appreciate that. If you haven't read The Rope, please do. It would mean a lot to me if you read it, because writers are shallow, and we like having people read our stuff and tell us that we're talented, because our whole life revolves around trying to seek validation from people. So if you get a chance, give it a read. Um, so uh, my dad struggled. Like he was an alcoholic. He was suffered from real nasty depression, and the last 10, 12 years of his life were not kind to him. The previous 10 before that, after my mom passed, weren't great either. So he's been torturing himself for over 20 years. And so in that moment, I felt relieved that my dad's pain was over. I went home. I went to my back to my. I called my wife, told her you should go to your sister's. So I did. I went to my sister's house, and it was her and her my brother-in-law, her husband, and I sat there with them, and we waited. My dad don't. My dad is an interesting character. So when I tell you that he donated his body to science, that sounds very generic, and the whole process kind of was. We were waiting for these people to show up to collect my dad, and I think it was like about 10, no, yeah, probably 10, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, something like that. This minivan shows up, and I remember thinking, they're gonna get my dad in a minivan? Is that what's gonna happen here? And that's exactly what happened. This little lady comes out with this gurney, and she's like, "Oh, where is he?" We're like, "He's in the den." And like, she just wheeled that gurney in there, and I didn't want to watch this because I'm a coward, and I just didn't. I was also kind of curious. I wanted to I wanted to see if she was going to ask for help with something, but like the curiosity outweighed my nature to go, "Hey, let me give you a hand." So I just sat there with my brother-in-law. I was talking with him, and then she just goes, I heard zoop, 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 zoop. So this like 95-pound woman picked my dad up, zipped him up into a bag, put a thing over him, put him on the gurney all by herself. And then afterwards, like, I wish I'd have watched that. That'd have been kind of interesting to see that. So then she's wheeling this gurney through my sister's living room, and then she goes, looks at me, "Can you help me?" I said, "Sure." So I grabbed the back of this gurney and helped her down the stairs and helped her wheel it into her minivan. Again, weird minivan because she's just gonna drive with my dead dad in the back seat for however many hours. Um, but then I kind of thought about it because we decided my dad and we decided my dad did not want a funeral. He did not like a lot of attention. My mom had a big, big funeral with hundreds of people, and it was a lot. It was massive. I don't think my dad wanted that. It wasn't his style. So we decided we weren't gonna do that. So me kind of it was weird, like me kind of wheeling that gurney in there was almost like the closest I'd come to being a pallbearer. And my dad would get weirdly sentimental about like the strangest things. Like when I graduated from college, he was so proud of me. Not because I graduated from college. He said, "You're supposed to graduate from college. I got you into college." He always said that, he didn't get me into college. I got you through college so you could graduate, not so you could do nothing. So you're supposed to graduate, which, yeah, I actually agree with him. Same thing. I agree. If you're in it, you should just finish it. Just to, start something, you finish it. He was proud of me because I didn't go to my commencement ceremony. He thought I was taking a stand against the man, when in reality, I went to my current, I say fiance at the time, current wife's graduation the year before, and it was so long and so boring. I was like, I'm not doing this when I had the chance. And my mom was gone at that point. So I was like, I slept in, which is fine. Again, he was really proud of that. He thought I was taking a stand. So I mean, he would be super, super proud that I like held this gurney and helped put him into the back of the van. It's bizarre as that sounds. I know that meant something to my dad. And it was kind of awesome because my wife was home with Andy, and his birthday was the next day. So her priority was, making sure he was okay. And I agree with that. I said, "Do take care of Andy." And I had a friend who, she was very kind and like talked to me the whole ride home, which was great. Cause I'm like, I don't know what I'd have been like. Cause I was fine in the moment, but I mean, like I can get inside my own head really, really easily. And I'm very, very good at making myself feel very, very bad. It's a horrible talent that I possess. So the fact that my friend was willing to sit there and talk with me for like an hour and a half on the way home meant the world to me. It's awesome. I've had how great of friends you have when something like this happens, when you have a personal tragedy in your life, and you really can rely on people. You really, really can. Or at least I can. I'm very fortunate in that regard, I guess. She used the word blessed, and I think she's right. I do feel blessed, which is weird to say after losing a loved one. But I felt decent on Wednesday. Like I just don't think I was to it yet. Like I don't think the reality had set in. And then Thursday I sat wrote The Rope. And I'm not, again, if you read it, please read it. If not, it's fine. I'm not asking you to. Kind of am. But I'm not gonna relitigate that story here. Doing that was hard. Like that was the hardest thing I've ever written. It's only like 1,200 words. Like I can knock 1,200 words out in an hour without a problem. But like after writing it, I didn't realize how much of a vein I'd opened up. Like I was exhausted. I drove there a parking lot and I sat in my car for and I did nothing. I just sat there, played on my phone, zoned out, and just like felt the enormity of it. And then I started to get emotional. And then I started to get emotional about everything. And this is when I I'm a writer, right? Like I wear a lot of hats. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I podcast clearly. Like, but the one that I always kind of lean back into is writing, right? It's more than a catharsis for me. It's like how I've defined myself. So for me, I have to talk about these things. And I know some people can do like journaling. I do a ton of journaling. And some people can like, write like letter or something like that. Like for me, I need to put it out there. I need to just get my thoughts out. My dad was a guy who never, ever, ever dealt with an emotion. Like, I think he just that baby boomer generation that was raised by the quote unquote greatest generation, it just seemed like that it doesn't seem like it is. Like that generation was really taught, especially if you're a man, you don't deal with emotions. You push them down, you don't show how you feel, you don't show what you think. You drink. That's the struggle I've had my whole life. I've never really been a drinker, read the rope, uh, but I've been the opposite. I've always been very quote unquote emotional, like, and I'm okay with that. Like, I've never had a problem with being emotional or dealing with my emotions. And I think this is the reason I wanted to do this 11 minutes in. By the way, Mike doesn't even know I'm doing this right now. Hope he's cool with it. Um, I think as men, we have to be upfront and honest about how we feel about things. And we have to understand that it's okay to show emotion. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be there for other people. Like we're really good at saying, all men are really good at saying, hey, you can come to me. I can be your rock. But we're really bad at I don't know what the opposite of that idiom is. If you're the rock, what leans on the rock? I don't know. I just thought of that. I don't know what you call that person. But we struggle a lot with showing emotion. Not me. I'm too good at it, maybe, like too comfortable with it. But that's another reason why I was writing so much. And I was talking about this stuff. And I was like, and I've been posting through it as my buddy Garrett Gonzalez said, he's like, looks like you're posting through it. I said, yeah, man, I am. I want to, I want guys like me, dudes in their 40s, dudes in their late 30s, who maybe a little younger, like just guys in general, to understand that this is okay. This is normal. This is fine. Like you need to go through this. You need to mourn. You need to talk. You need to feel, right? Burying your feelings rots you from the inside out. And I saw it. I watched it happen for 20 years and could do nothing while I watched someone let their demons chip away at them and devour them little by little, like maggots just chewing on little bits of you the whole time. It's descriptive, sorry, but I mean that's kind of the way I would feel watching my dad. And I don't want to be that guy, and I've gone above and beyond not to be that guy, but I want guys specifically to understand that it's good to ask, it's good to cry, it's good to show something, it's good to emote in general. You're not weak. I'm not weak. I mean, like you say a lot of things about me, but I'm not a weak person, right? I pride myself on being physically strong. I pride myself on being mentally strong. I pride myself on being a tough guy overall. Like I always have. It's something that I think helps define me as a man. But there are times when I don't even think calling it weakness or vulnerability is a fair statement. There are times when you are struggling. There are times when you need help. There are times when you might feel weak. You're not weak there. You're strong there, right? That is a strength. And your strength is your support system. Your strength of the people in your life, your strength of the people that you love. And that is when you can lean on those people and you feel their weight pushing back into you. That is power. That is strength. That is something that is invaluable. And we all have it. Even if you don't think that you do, you do. There is someone out there that will fight for you. There is someone out there that will be there for you. And I bet there's a lot more than someone. I bet there's a lot of someone's out there, especially if you're listening to this, right? I just want men to understand that this is okay. I'm struggling. Like this right now, I feel really good. I'm doing what I'm comfortable doing. I love talking. I love podcasting. I love doing this. But I'm gonna watch Sting retire tonight. I'm gonna watch my childhood hero go out on his sword like with like the Romans, right? And I'm excited. The fact that it's happening this weekend is extra hard for me. And I'm gonna write about it for the Voices of Wrestling. I'm very excited. I want to see the match. I want to watch it before I put words to it. But I want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to know that you're not weak. I want you to know that there are other people who go through this, and that doesn't make you less of a man. In fact, it makes you more of a man. This is a fight, right? And as a coach, we try to teach the boys, you embrace the fight. We don't back down from the fight. We go into the fight. And right now, I'm fighting, but I'm not going to fight myself. I'm not going to fight my emotions. I'm just going to fight circumstance, right? And I'm going to fight to be better. And I'm going to fight to get myself mentally healthy, because right now, I don't know if I am. I don't know where I'm at. I'm just going to keep talking. I'm getting help. I'm in therapy right now. Very, very proud of myself for doing that again. It's not the first time I've done this. Uh, won't be the last probably. So that's okay, right? Mike and I are very pro mental health, men's specific mental health issues. Mike has been open about his struggles. Mike's a legitimate. We joke about this on the show all the time. Mike's a legitimate war hero, and like he carries the baggage that comes with that. And I'm proud of my friend that he is open to talking about his struggles, and I know he feels the same about me. And I'm I'm actually happy that I can do this, and I wanted to do this tonight specifically before the show, specifically before I let myself kind of go a little bit, and I try to forget about everything, and I just try to be a little stinger again for a minute, right? If you took the time to listen, if you took the time to watch, I appreciate this, and I appreciate you. And there's a little, and I do this a lot, and it's for a reason. Like Mike Powell is like my hero in coaching. He was national coach of the year at Oak Park River Forest High School here in Illinois. One of the best human beings I ever met in my life. He talked about showing love to the people that you care about. And the first time I heard that, I'm like, love, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. And then I thought about this, and I'm like, you know what? That's accurate. You do have people in your life that you love, and like like family, friends, your support system. These are people that you love, whether you realize it or not, you do. And they love you in return. And the best thing that you can do for them and for yourself is to say that, to tell people that you care about them, to tell people that you appreciate them, to tell people that you love them. James Taylor, shower the people you love with love. Like it's like my mantra, man. Like, especially if they're willing to bend an ear for you, right? Tell them that you love them. Tell them that they mean something to you. Tell them that you appreciate them. Don't ever be afraid to give out a million thank yous. People might get sick of it. Probably people are getting sick of being thanked by me. And I'm just going to tell them, tough shit. You're going to have to take it for a little while. You're going to have to listen to me say thank you for being cool, because I appreciate it. I appreciate you listening to me. Um, I'm going to make this free for everybody, because I want this out there. I want people to know that you're not alone. You got people in the corner that are gonna fight for you. Fuck, I'm gonna fight for you. Come talk to me. I've had a bunch of people do that. I've had so many people reach out and talk to me. People I haven't talked to in years. When the boys call, oh, I always break. The boys that I coach, boys, they could be in their 30s at this point. I'll still call them boys. Like, ooh, that gets me every time. I start getting teary up every time. That's a good thing. I love you guys. Thank you for helping me on this journey. I'm gonna keep posting through it. And whether you like reading it or not, that's up to you, and that's perfectly fine. I just want to let you guys know that. I'm JD Oliva. This is my project.